hello, and hello once more, dear and wonderful friends. How are you doing? Welcome to another top-down video. Now, this was a video requested a while back. I am planning on making a zine that delves a little bit more into this and other witchy type things that I get into, and a little bit more of the history, my personal history with that sort of stuff. But I thought I'd do a show you my decks, my tarot decks thing, as people were interested in that. So again, I say again, I don't know how many times I've said this, but I don't do top down very often, so please forgive me if the sound is a little bit weird, because I'm used to the mic being right in front of me, whereas now it's actually off to the side, so I will try to remember that it's there. But anyway, and I'll try to keep things in frame and keep checking in and all that stuff like that. I will slowly get used to things. Anyway, so grab a cup of beverage of whatever choice. I didn't say that at all right. Grab a cup of whatever you choose to enjoy and settle in, and let's talk about tarot decks, or I'll show you my tarot decks, and a little bit of a story time too, a little bit of rambling. But anyway, so let us get started. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decks actually, and one oracle deck. So it's funny because Black Wolf is my best friend for nearly 20 years now, and when she first started getting into tarot, she's like, I'll just get one deck and check it out and stuff like that, and I chuckled to myself thinking, yeah, no, it's not going to be one deck. But anyway, so let's get started. Like I said, I won't get too much into the history or anything like that, because I am aware that you're just looking down at my hands. I don't want to be too boring, but basically I grew up with a very a deep interest in all sorts of things like astrology, numerology, a little bit of spells, palm reading, all sorts of things like that. And then my ruling biologicals got a bit into religion into a certain way, and that all became bad, and I wasn't allowed. So for quite a few years I was separated from my interests. But yeah, now I'm in Australia and I can do whatever I want because I'm an adult. I say at 37. Anyway, so that's a very brief sort of thing. And tarot. Now, I was very interested in tarot when I first got over here, but so I'll show you. So I keep it in a pouch that I got way back in 2007 when I went to New Zealand. I'm pretty sure I would have got this in Rotorua, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It's a gorgeous felt bag, and I love it, and it has a zip and a lovely shell on there. And so, like many people, like I said, back in 2007, I got started with your traditional Rider-Waite deck. Sorry, I had a blank. Did I say that correctly? That sort of thing. And while it was good, I'll actually take a moment and get the book that came with it. So yes, these both came in a set, and while they were good, it was pretty good as far as an introduction goes. I don't think it was the right time for me to be doing tarot. Not that I wasn't allowed or anything like that. It was more just where I was in life. I was still somewhat fresh out of the States, and there was a lot of trauma, a lot of CPTSD that I hadn't addressed, a lot of stuff. I was a very complicated bundle of trauma and PTSD and CPTSD and all of that stuff, all wrapped up. So while tarot was interesting to me, one of the things that I realized later after I came out of Australia, that I was very impatient with everything. Like I wanted to do it now because I still had that, those I'm going to be deleted feelings that I was dealing with. So I was very impatient. So while I do like this deck, I never really bonded with it. I just got a deck and I'm like, oh, that's affordable, I get it. Instead of taking my time and really like bonding with a deck. And that's like, there's nothing wrong with this deck or the art or anything like that. Like I would still use this. Definitely, but I tend not to, just because I have my other decks that I feel more like bonded to and connect with the art and everything like that. So yeah, this is definitely wasn't bad for a beginner, but I was too, I don't want to say messed up, but I was too traumatized by everything that had happened in the States, and like I couldn't focus on really getting to know the tarot and what it meant and the history and things like that. So I didn't really bond with it. I kind of just, I put the cards away and I didn't think about it until quite a few years later. Now, quite a few years later, I saw the Line Strider deck. And so this, I mean, technically, that was my first design, the writer, the, what is it? It's the, anyway, forgive my distraction. Anyway, so that was technically my first deck, but I kind of, in a way, also consider this my first deck, because this was like love at first sight, like instant bond with the art and just everything about it. Like something just called me, like I just loved it from the get-go. And so this was, oh my goodness, it'd be quite a few years ago. It'd be since I've been in Bendigo. Or sorry, since I've been in Murray Bridge, moved from Bendigo. So it's within maybe 4 years ago, something like that. Anyway, this deck, I just find it to be gorgeous, and I have bonded with it. At first, I'll move it a bit. At first, I still didn't quite understand tarot and the meaning of the cards in terms of like doing a spread and working with each other. At first, I just started out with this deck. I felt very bonded to it and the art. And I used it as an anxiety guide. Like if I was having trouble making a decision, or if I was having trouble focusing on something, I would draw a card and kind of focus on the card and applying the meaning, and that would kind of calm me down, put me in a space and focus and everything, and self-awareness and all of that good stuff. So, and it comes with this lovely, lovely book. And I love this book so much because it has the art, and it has an explanation of each card. And each card, it'll have the keywords and everything, and it'll do upright interpretations and reverse interpretations, correspondences and everything. But occasionally the artist will talk about like say this card means this and can indicate this when you see it with, say, a bunch of cups or a bunch of major arcana or stuff like that. The artist will like get into a little bit of you know, if you see it with this, it could indicate this, kind of a very gentle introduction, if you care to, you know, pursue it in that way, of how cards can interact with each other and influence each other's meanings and things like this. So yeah, King of Wands. So this is a beautiful book. I love this book. It's amazing, and like, oh, all of the art. And then you have the cards that pull out here. And see, yeah, just look at this art. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I love it all so much. I'm a big fan of watercolors, so that definitely calls me too. Yeah, so I stuck with this deck for a long time, and I still use it. It's I do deck interviews. I enjoy doing it, and I do I still feel very like this is a very good deck for me. This is kind of for me, it's a teaching deck. It's not necessarily for doing spreads for other people. Not that I do spreads for other people much. I've done it maybe like a handful of times, if that. But yeah, it's a daily draw. It's teaching me. It's kind of, it's not a cold deck as such, but it's very like a brainy deck, not like emotional. Kind of get a logical view of things. King of Wands. See, these are just beautiful. I think this was my card of the year back in 2022. So yeah, just beautiful cards, beautiful thing. Just a very kind of, I want to say it's almost a quiet deck, which is probably weird because people are going like, it's a deck of cards. But it's not very pushy. It's not like slap you upside the head kind of logic. It's just a nice deck. It was a great, like, really actually getting into tarot. It was a great deck for that, and especially with the watercolors and the amazing book that comes with it. So gorgeous deck. I love it. Definitely daily draws and kind of, yeah, more brain oriented rather than heart oriented questioning, at least for me. So that's that one. Next up, we have in this lovely satchel that I won from the creator of this deck, we have the Wandering Moon Tarot, made by an Australian artist. And I actually won one of these decks, and it's so cool. It's just, I don't know, it just caught me. Again, I'm not just this way with tarot decks. I'm very much this kind of person in, like, for clothing or anything else. It's kind of like, oh, I see what I want and that's what I want. Like, I don't want to look around. I don't want to, that sort of thing. Like, that's what I want. And I had that, interestingly, I had that reaction with this deck. But what's interesting about the Wandering Moon Tarot, at least in my experience of it, is like, I got it and I love it, but I'm like, what am I supposed to use it? Like, I felt like there was something I was missing. Like, what am I supposed to be using this for? Anyway, so we'll get into that. But beautiful little box here, and it comes with its own little book. Seven of Wands, just all the meanings and everything. And what's fun about these as well from Moon House. I'm pretty sure it's Moon House, but house as in Haus, as in Haus, like the German version of the word. And now I've got off track. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it was fun supporting a local artist. But what was interesting for me was that kind of like, what am I supposed to use it for? And I took it out, and I took it out for the first time, and I mixed it up under a full moon. And oh yes, that's what I was going to say. What's interesting about Moon House decks is that they also come with original to the deck additional cards, rather than, like, you have all of your regular ones, you know, Seven of Wands, and look at these, they're gorgeous. They're kind of like holographic along with the art, and it's holographic on the edges as well. I hope that the camera's doing it justice, but it's absolute. I mean, look at this, Six of Wands. That's beautiful. But the creators also put in a few of their own kind of cards, which have explained meaning in here. Like, there's even like tarot spreads. Am I ready to wander? Let's see, Empress. Let's see. Just trying to find. Okay, like the new moon card, the Wanderer card, like additional cards for it. And I just think that's really cool that the artists added their own cards to the mix. But they're beautifully made cards, and they're just amazing. I love the artwork on them, and I can't remember which one's which, but I think Moon's Queen of Moons is Queen of Pentacles. Moons are Pentacles, and Like a couple of the suits were renamed, but they're basically the same thing. So cool. But anyway, yes, I got it and I love them, but I was like, what am I supposed to, like, I felt like I drawn to them, but like, why? And then it took me, I had them for quite a while, and then I did a deck interview with them. I realized this is my shadow work deck. Dun, 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 dun. So if I have any sort of, like, well, yeah. If I have any sort of shadow work, anything related, I get out my Wandering Moon Tarot. And it suits it very well. I've done very well with spreads and helping me to understand and those sorts of things with this deck. I absolutely, like, it's boom. So sometimes you'll be drawn to a deck and you won't know why for a while, and then but I was lucky enough to actually win one of these. So definitely keep an eye out, and I will have all the links and the bits and bobs, as I've probably already said a few times. But the creator of this deck is also someone who has who has a chronic illness, and so has all kinds of principles, like tarot related principles, but also has like chronic illness journaling principles as well, if you're interested in that sort of thing. So the Wandering Moon Tarot. Next up I have this the Rebel deck. I think that, yeah, this isn't these are actually, I'll do this both at the same time. These are both Oracle decks that I got. I actually got Black Wolf and her daughter are into unicorns as I am, so I actually got 2 of these decks and sent one to one to Black Wolf as well. And I got this Kitchen Green Witch Oracle. This, you know, I was kind of I like the look of it. I felt drawn to it. So this is definitely like a funnier Oracle deck. It's kind of like no holds barred sort of thing. And yeah, go like this, you know, and then you pick anyone and it'll tell you something. You've got a feeling you just can't shake. And yeah, they're adult Oracle cards, you know, kind of advice or something, what's going on and like what to do about it, that sort of thing. So you've got all these different colors. You do you, believe what you see, take a shot, don't take 12, take 1, okay, maybe 2, move on. And as funny as these are, and I got them as kind of a joke for both me and Black Wolf, they've been really accurate sometimes. Like, I think there's something I needed to let go, and I'm not sure what card it was. And it was just like, let fucking go. I was like, oh, okay. It's dark and you can't see a thing. Get your head out of your ass. So yeah, it's not trying to be nice, not trying to hold your hand. It's really funny, and it comes with like the instructions and everything. So yeah, just, you know, funny Oracle deck. Just something I just couldn't resist, because sometimes you need a little attitude in your life. Just put these in here. And these just looked really beautiful to me. I haven't found them like groundbreaking or anything as far as like bonding with them or anything, but I find them really beautiful. Emotion. And they all have plants and everything like that on them, and wholeness, protection. And yeah, so you have your number, your symbols, vitality, and the fig. It's just, I don't know. Like, it's one of those things I felt drawn to. It's kind of like part of me trying to be like, and I got these ages ago, so it's still a journey I'm on, but me trying to be like, it's okay to just like things. It's okay to Like, there's all this stuff about there's too much consumerism, there's too much consumerism. And I'm not saying that there isn't, but it's also okay to like things because you like them, you know? Not everything has to be of use as such, or the use can just be bringing you some happiness. So that is the Green Witch Oracle. Next up comes another Love at First Sight Folklore Tarot. I love this so much. Now this is what I call my sassy deck, because it's kind of it doesn't hold back. It's very much a like, I don't want to like, it's hard to describe these things because it can sound a little weird, and I'm still like new to coming out and talking about any of this sort of stuff to anybody except Black Wolf. So yeah, I don't know how I sound to other people or anything like that, but I hope it makes sense. But yeah, this is my sassy deck. This is very much related to my creativity. Writers, like, it'll help me with writer's block. It'll help me with general creativity questions and things like that, and like creative life, living a creative life questions and all sorts. Oh, forgive me, I haven't double checked to make sure I'm in frame very much, so I apologize for that. But these are beautiful. It's got this kind of like, you have the smoothness of the back of the card, but then you have this extra gloss on the art, and it's gorgeous. And all of them, oh, see, they're just so pretty. And I'll move the boxes over, and as you saw, the little booklet, and that's a full color booklet. All of these different, oh, it's so cool. And I love how much that people can pack into these little deck books. So just so, I love it so much. And see, a lot of these and it's the folklore deck because a lot of these come from like mythical characters. Like, I'll show you. Let's see. King of Swords. So you have, this will be a depiction of Thoth. Thoth is or Thoth, or however people pronounce it. I say Thoth. Thoth is the ancient Egyptian god of magic, wisdom, knowledge, and writing. He's most often portrayed as a man with the head of an ibis, or sometimes as a baboon. He is the scribe of the gods, and according to legend, the inventor of hieroglyphs, as well as the practices of law, philosophy, and magic. So a lot of these, like, some of them are just really lovely art. But then, like, especially the high court cards, and then your major arcana, the 8-legged horse for the chariot, fish for the hermit, the salmon of wisdom, a creature of Celtic lore. See, and it's not just one mythical being or creature or anything like that. There are creatures from all over. Oh, King of Cups. It's so cool. So yeah, this is really one for like my writing, especially because that's primarily my art, so to say. But yeah, it can have to do with anything creative, or you know, that sort of thing. Give me a bit of a kickstart. But yeah, that's the Folklore Tarot, and I just love it. So cool. And last but absolutely not least, we have the Tarotorial Expanded deck and the accompanying book. Put the book aside just for now. But Black Wolf found this, and when I saw it, I was like, yes, please, may I also? So I got this. This is such an awesome deck and book for learning tarot. And why is that? Well, first of all, I'll show you the awesome shininess of the sides and the backs of these cards, but each card is basically a teaching card. It's all educational. So I have the accompanying book, but you don't necessarily need the accompanying book if you want just the broad strokes of a card. So you have, see, the 5 of Cups. So sadness, loss, you can see what it means. You can see the planet it aligns with, its element. Let's see, the astrological signs, numerology, count. Oh yeah, 5. Okay, sorry. And I believe I might not say, just I'm not sure, but it says it's the minor arcana, and if you turn it upside down, you get the reversed meaning of the card. Now, forgive me, I'm probably not centering this very well, but yeah, it's like the ultimate learning deck. It's so awesome, and I like the art. It's fun, but yeah, just and it's kind of a mini deck. You notice like the line strider cards were quite big, more traditional tarot card size, and like the folklore deck was kind of closer to like playing card size, and these are obviously, like, I've got pretty big hands but these are definitely on the smaller side, smaller than a regular deck of playing cards, but they're so just it's so cool. I love it. I love that you can just have it. Like, this could be like a great travel deck if you're still learning and you don't have a lot of like packing space to pack and stuff like that. This could be your little still learning travel deck, that sort of thing. My deck interview with it was like, basically, yeah, I'm here, like, I teach. I don't hold back, that sort of thing. So that was fun. So that's the deck, which I love. But a big part of what makes this awesome is the accompanying book. And again, you don't need the book because the deck can teach you the basics, but the book is amazing. You can probably already tell that I use it a lot. It's just a gorgeous book. I'm just making sure it's in a frame, and it's amazing. There's introduction, history of tarot, symbolism, Kabbalah, numerology, counts, major arcana, minor arcana. Like, there's so much to it. I haven't even read all the introductory things yet. Symbolism, tarot and Kabbalah. And then it also has all these. Oh, that was what I saw on the 5, the card I was holding up. Heh. So anyway, Jacob's Ladder. And there's all sorts of this stuff. I haven't even begun to like look at this sort of thing, but it's cool that it's all here in this book. And I'll just take you to a page. And so, like on the card, it has, you know, so your planet, your signs and your elements and things like that. But this goes into much more detail, as you can tell with, you know, I mean, it's just beautifully laid out. And it has more information, like what it is in a yes/no reading, which I've done plenty of yes/no readings and I appreciate them and everything, so that's cool. And the symbolism of the art itself, which is, I just love how thorough it is. And yeah, it names another tarot systems: Golden Dawn, Tarot of Marseille, the Thoth deck. I don't have any of those decks. I've just with the traditional one so far, but yeah. And it's just upright meanings, reversed, but wait, there's more. There's also this. You've got your chakra, your timing, like everything. Crystals, plants, magical items, archangels, like colors, all of this stuff. It's just amazing. There's so much information. You could I would talk about the one study book you need if you had one tarot book to study, like, oof. And I'll just take you to and when you get to a new suit, there's the explanation of the minor arcana, explanation of the suits. It's just, and like, it gets down, like, that's one thing I like about tarot, like, it gets down, like, You can have a 5 of cups, but 5 itself also means something else, and all of this stuff, court cards, so much information. But anyway, so when you have a minor arcana card, you have this and this, but then you also have upright interpretations depending on what kind of reading you're doing, whether it's general, love, health, career, and it has that for you, and still all of this information. It's just an awesome book. So I got these two together. That's my most recent. I feel like I'm, you know, everything's like complete and sorted for a while. Like I can't think of any reason I would need another deck or anything like that. This might be a lot of decks to some people. Some people might be like, oh, you only need one deck, but like I don't know. Like we all have to live our lives the way we live our lives and what we feel is right and stuff like that. And I feel good. I feel good having like the ultimate educational deck and some fun oracle stuff and something for shadow work and something for my creative, like just the artist side of my life. And of course, my line strider. And we can't forget where it all started, though it didn't really get off to a start at the time. The traditional ones. So yes, this is an introduction, well not like, well, very thorough introduction to all of my tarot decks. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope the people who were interested in this found the video interesting and all of that. And if anybody out there has an introduction to what decks you use and why you use them and all that stuff, please let me know. Leave a link in the the comments in the description. Please leave a link in the comments because I'd love to check it out. And I do like looking at new decks and seeing what people are using and all that sort of stuff. So yeah. My very first, like I've said it before, I do consider myself a bit of a babby witch. Just because babby instead of baby makes me giggle. But anyway, so I'll leave it there and I'll say thank you once more, and thank you to everybody who requested this video. It's fun to share. I know my love of zines is the primary focus on this channel, but if there's anything like chatty videos or questions or like show me your tarot decks sort of thing, I'm definitely happy to share all that information with you. So anyway, I will wrap things up there and say thank you once more. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead, and yeah, until next time, pet your tarot decks, make some zines, have some fun, create some art, and spread a little sunshine.